Kingdom BnB would like to welcome you and thank you for choosing to list your rental accommodations with us for the Worldwide Brotherhood to enjoy. Here's a quick video of how to add and update your listing. First, you'll log into your account. Once you log in, it'll bring you immediately to your dashboard. This is where you'll see the number of properties you have listed, the number of reservations that you have, and then the smart menu to the left. You can add properties here. You can go straight to your property features. You can see the active properties, the properties that will expire, and you can also manually add reservations here. If you have an external calendar that you're getting bookings from, you can come in here and block those dates out for as far as availability is concerned. You can see reservations that were made today. You can see the pending reservations and also the upcoming reservations. So we'll go ahead and begin adding the properties. So you'll click on the properties tab. If I have pre-started your rental accommodations, you'll see a silhouette here of a house, and it'll say no image available. You'll want to click there to continue updating that property. If that is not available, then you will click here where it says add property. The system automatically assigns each property a reference ID, so you want to leave that intact. And then you'll choose the type of property that you have, whether it's a basement apartment, a commercial property, condo, house, so on and so forth. So for this example, we'll go ahead and choose house, and you'll go ahead and you'll save. It'll bring you to the summary page where it'll show the date that you added the property. The last time that you updated, the date would be here. The amount of views that this property had will show here. The amount of reservations that it currently has will be there. This is the reference ID again, and it also lets you know when your accommodations will expire. You can use this button to renew your subscription. You'll go ahead and click on Save here. It'll take you to the details page where you'll add the details of your property. So you'll go ahead and put the name of your property. So for this example, we'll call it the Kingdom House. And then you'll also list how many bedrooms, bathrooms, so on and so forth. So for this example, we'll say it's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It accommodates 4 adults, and it accommodates 2 children. We'll say that this house is 1,400 square feet, and then we'll put a description of the house. This is where you want to put a description of the property, what all is available there. You can also put any nearby attractions that they might be interested in visiting. You can put that all here. So for this example, I'll make it brief. Once you're done with that, you'll go ahead and click on Save. Once you save it, now it shows you that your property has been added, and this is where you'll click when you update your property. So we'll go ahead and proceed with this property. So it brings you back to the summary page. We've already done the details tab, so we're going to go on to the extras tab. So once you click there, this is where you're going to add the amenities that's included with the property. So let's say air condition, breakfast nook, CD, DVD player, cleaning products, dishwasher, so on and so forth. And as you scroll down to the bottom, this is where you'll put any community attractions or amenities that's available. So if there's a clubhouse, if there's a fitness center, a golf course, things like that, you'll put it in this area. Once you're done adding that, you'll go ahead and click on Save. And then once you save that, you'll go on to the next tab, which will be your Photos tab. This is where you'll upload your images of your property. There's 2 ways to do it. You can click on Upload, and you can go to your computer where your images are saved. And for this example, I will go to my Images tab, and I will upload this, for example. So I can just drag this over here, or I can click Open. Once I click Open, it puts it in. The other way to add images is to open up your Images tab, and you can just drag an image in there. Once you drag the image, you need to put it into this box, and it'll add the image for you. You can add as many images as you like. If you have any trouble with adding the images, you can always email the images to me and I can add them for you. The images need to not be too small because when it enlarges on the website, it may look blurry. So you want to make sure that your images are not very small images. Okay, so we'll continue on with the contact tab. This is where you're going to put how the customer will contact you. So if you want your contact information to show on the website, you'll go ahead and click yes. And then you'll go ahead and fill this in. So I'll put my information and then I'll put my phone number. And if you have an office number, you can put it there. If you have a cell number that you want to use, you can put it there or you can leave it blank. You'll put your contact email information here. You have a fax number, you can enter that as well. And if your accommodations has a website, you can enter that here as well. Once you're done entering all that, you'll go ahead and click on save. And then you'll go on to the next tab, which will be your address tab. This is where you'll put your address. You can determine whether you want to have the address show on a map or not. We'll leave no for now, and we'll put the address. You'll choose the country. I'll go ahead and choose United States. I'll put Georgia. And please make sure that you spell out your state and not abbreviate the state. It'll makes it easier when a customer is searching. All right, and then you'll leave these two fields blank and you'll go ahead and hit save. And for some reason, it keeps bringing us back here. I'll go ahead and fill that out again. Okay, so now when we come back to the properties tab, you see that the photo that we uploaded is here. So this will help you also if you have multiple listings to see which property that you're going to be editing. So we're going to continue with this property. So we're going to click on the image. We're going to go on to the prices tab. This is where you'll add your rates. In order to add your rate, you're going to click on add. You're going to put the dates. So if my subscription is 6 months long, I'm going to put beginning today, and I'm going to put ending 6 months from today, which is August 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll say until January 6th. And then we'll say that it's 200 per night. We'll go ahead and click on save. And that saves our reservation, saves our rates. We're going to go on to the booking tab. This is where you're going to put the how the booking is going to take place. So if you want to have the customer fill out a booking form, you're going to go ahead and put the check in the box. If you don't want them to fill out a booking form, you would uncheck that. So in other words, if you have a different website that you want them to go to book, then you would not fill this out. So in this example, I'll go ahead and check the box. If you don't want the customer to be able to make their payment on this portal, you'll uncheck that box. You're going to put the minimum amount of their visit. So let's say they need to stay a minimum of 3 nights, days or nights. You'll go ahead and put that in. And if you have a maximum amount of stay that they can stay, if you don't want them to stay more than 10 days or more than 7 days, you would go ahead and indicate that amount here. So if you want to allow customers to book pending bookings, if someone has reserved the dates but they haven't paid for it yet, if you want others to be able to book those same days, you would put a check in the box. If you want those days to be blocked off until that person pays for it, you would uncheck this, and then it would not allow them to. It would allow them to someone else to book those days as well. So we're going to leave that. We're going to leave that unchecked. Um, Booking status if paid. So once someone has paid, you want to show whether you want it to be as confirmed, pending, or canceled. So of course, a paid booking is going to be confirmed. So we're going to leave confirmed there. If the booking status is not paid, we're going to leave it as pending. Um, if you want to have it referred to as days, you leave days there. If you want it to be referred to as nights, you can change it to nights. You can put the amount of down payment that you would like to have. In this case, we have 10% there. Of course, you can navigate up and down the amount of percent deposit you would like. If there's a security deposit, you can put that amount in here. So if you want it to be $50, you put $50 there. If you are taking tax, you can either put an amount or you can put a percentage. So if your tax for your state is 5%, you'll use the you'll use this to put whatever the percentage is, and then this is where you'll put how much needs to be paid on this reservation before they show up. So it says, for example, if today is the 10th and you enter 5 in this box, when someone makes a reservation on the 14th, then the full payment would be required. So this lets the customer know how far in advance they have to make their payment. So we'll put 5 for now. And then this is the types of payments that you allow. PayPal payments, authorized.net payments, collect credit card information, bank payments, or allow cash payments. So you'll put a check in the box for whichever ones you allow. And then if you have a thank you page on your website, you can put that website here. If you don't, then we'll put the Kingdom BnB website URL there. Once you've added those things, you'll go ahead and click on save, and then we'll go on to the terms. This is where you're going to put down the terms of your rental, whether you have a no cancellation policy, if you have a no pets policy, if you have no parking on the street, whatever the regulations are for your property. This is where you'll put that, how many days in advance they need to book, what your cancellation policy is. This is where you'll put all of that information. And then the final section, you're going to put your email contact. And I usually set this up for you, but you're free to go in here and change it to whatever you would like to change it to. So you can put the subject as reservation. And then you can put a message that the customer will receive when they make a booking with you. And as I mentioned, I usually will have this pre-filled in, and you can make changes and updates to it once it's done. Now, once you type anything in here, you always want to make sure that you save it. Otherwise, when you come back, it will be gone. So when you go back to your dashboard, you'll see that you have one property, you have no views and no reservations so far. And when you go to your reservations tab, if you have any reservations, you'll be able to see it here. And once you click on it, it'll give you the details on that reservation. The next tab is where you'll update your profile. It'll have your email address, your password. So if you're wanting to change your password, feel free to go here and change it. And you'll also select how you want to be notified about your reservations. And once you make any changes here, you'll go ahead and hit save. And that pretty much is how you update your reservation. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.